Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1981 Detroit Tigers season replay. If you just watched this 17-3 loss, I apologize. It was horrible. I owe you one for watching that game because it was just about the worst game of the season. We've given up 10 runs or more many times this year. And we just completely collapsed. And that was after having a day off, so everyone was rested and ready to go. And yet we got clobbered. But we're not here to play another game today. We are here to do our little end of May show here, where we're going to take a look at the standings. We're going to take a look at the draft players available. It's coming up on June 4th. So we're going to take a look, see who's available and where we might fall in the draft, see who we might be able to get on this desperate team. We're going to take a look at the league leaders, and then we're going to quickly take a look at the players that our Tigers have traded and how are they faring so far since the trade. So let's get right into it. I don't want to take up too much of everyone's time. I know everyone enjoys watching these videos. But I don't want to waste too much of everyone's day as we take a look here, and we are in trouble. We're 26-29. We're 3 games under 500, only 8.5 back. As I mentioned, we are at the halfway point of the season after today's drubbing, and so Boston and Baltimore looks like they're vying for the East. I mean, Boston is batting .281, the best in the American League. Oh, no, actually, California is almost batting .290 as a team. And Kansas City, surprisingly, is right there at .280 as well. Tigers, we have 57 home runs, so we still have the most home runs in the American League. And our team ERA is the worst by far. And I don't know. I mean, well, maybe after we get to the draft day, we'll see how things play out. I might actually do some significant maneuvering in our bullpen, but we'll see. That's for another day. California Angels, who won the World Series last year, are ahead of Seattle of all teams, ahead of them by a half game. And Minnesota, I mean, everybody's right below 500. Actually, we're better percentage-wise than every other team in the West other than the top 2. So maybe we're just in the wrong division. I don't know. Let's take a look at the National League. It's been a while since we've seen how things are going here. St. Louis, 5-game losing streak has allowed Montreal to get into it. And look, I mean, really, Pittsburgh, Chicago, last place team, making some strides. And in the West, Cincinnati holds a 1-game lead over Houston. And then the Dodgers are right there too. I mean, really, everybody's in that race except for Atlanta. Really, not a lot has been decided this early on. I mean, it's all, even the Tigers being only 8.5 games back with 2 months to go. You could make up 8.5 games. I'm not that hopeful for it, but it's possible. So let's go ahead and take a look at the draft. Let's do the draft next, because I think this is more fun to see who's available and where we fall in that draft order. Let me just take a look, because I don't actually know. We're going to look at the draft editor, and the Tigers are the 18th pick in this upcoming draft. So that's terrible. We really need a higher draft pick. So let's take a look here. Amateur draft. So if we do it, you can really check this out 2 different ways. One is you can go by what they project the peak to be for these players, or you can do it by the scouting report. And we pay the scouts handsomely in this game to give us the best information. So we're going to take a look at the scouting. And if you see here, it looks like, as of right now, Edgar Martinez is who they project to be the number 1 overall pick. And then we've got Mike Stanley at catcher. Mark McGwire, Big Mac, listed as a third baseman. What? Randy Johnson, a big unit. We got Crime Dog, Fred McGriff. Cal Daniels, out of University of Michigan, I think, right? Can't remember now. And then we have Lenny Dykstra, Bobby Bowe, David Cohn, Big Daddy Cecil Fielder. We got Shane Mack, Javier Ortiz. I don't remember him at all. Denny Gonzalez. He was on the Pirates, I remember. Mike Greenwell, actually a really great unsung hitter in the American League. Russ McGinnis, I don't remember. Ravello. So, anyway, Matt Noakes, great Detroit Tiger catcher. Paul O'Neill, Jim Leyritz, by the way. Ken Caminiti, MVP. Rest in peace as well. Sam Horn, kind of a letdown. And this is just the first page. There's Dante Bichette. And you can see there's a ton of players here. Just projecting where the Tigers will draft. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that's the cutoff point projected for the first round. Obviously, I would never take Mike Huff if I could take Paul O'Neill, for example, or Ken Caminiti, because those are two positions we really need right now. Is a corner outfielders projected, and we could use a third baseman for sure. Now the way that if you play this game, you already know this, but this may be where we would normally pick, but that doesn't mean that the computer AI is going to pick these players. So it's possible that we could get any of these players, as well as the scouting could change between now and then too, and things could be different. So. Anyway, just wanted to give a quick visual on who is available for the 1981 draft. And also keep in mind that these are players that are out of high school. A lot of them, of course, got drafted after their college years. And so, it's going to be several years before they make it. Even Mark McGwire, he's age 17 in 1981. So, he probably won't even make it to the major leagues. But it seems like starting pitchers make it to the majors pretty quickly, as I would expect whomever drafts Randy Johnson, assuming it's not the Tigers, that he might even be on the on a roster, a major league roster of some team, almost right away if it's a bad team, as picking fourth overall might be. Okay, so we're going to go from there, and we are going to go to we're going to do the Tigers next, and then we'll do the league leaders last. So we're going to do trades. We're going to do my team, and we're going to take a look and see how all the Tigers are doing that have been traded away. Oh boy, let's start it off with Rick Russell. Russell is 0-7 for the A's with that high price tag. After going 1-1 for the Tigers before we traded him. Pretty good walk to strikeout ratio. That was never really a problem. Opponent's batting .300. He's got a complete game for the Athletics. And, pretty bad 1-8 on the season. And I was lamenting getting rid of him the way our pitching staff is, our starting rotation has been, going here in the month of May. But maybe I don't feel so bad now. Ed Putman taking over the catching role for the A's. Stole the job from Carlton Fisk, actually, and he's batting .211. So I think you'd have to safely say those. Look at more walks than strikeouts. That's kind of impressive. But I think it's safe to say at this point we haven't really lost anything. Bruce Fields is still in single A ball, and Schatzy, hasn't even gotten to a game, and he is on the major league roster. So I don't know what's going on there. I wouldn't mind having Schatzer back. And then, of course, we have Ricky Henderson. We got in that deal, and he's just been just so disappointing. I mean, he's got more walks than strikeouts. He's getting on base. He's 18 out of 27. So what is that? 66% basically. So, I mean, that's not a good ratio. I don't know why his speed is not better in this game, but what are you going to do? And then we traded. No, we got Bob Lacey in that trade, and then we cut him loose. And I believe he's still a free agent. He is. He didn't get a single out for us in the 2 games that he played. That was all I needed to see. Okay, so then we made this trade with Montreal, which has not turned out too good. Bob Stanley, the Expos, been in 3 games, took a loss, bad ERA. Opponents are kicking him around. So not good there. Andy Replogle, he's in AAA. He was great for us down in the September of '80, and then we tried to make him a closer because of his strikeout per innings pitch, but we ended up getting rid of him. And then Omar Marino, he was decent for us, and he's still carrying it on. He's got 4 extra base hits and 50 at-bats for the Expos, 4 stolen bases, 2 caught stealing. So pretty solid player, and he's going to free agency anyway. Then we have Prince Smith, who we got in the deal, and he's just been dog vomit. And he's been pretty bad. But he did pitch better in his last start. So he went 5 1/3 innings after those terrible back-to-back starts to start off his Tiger career. And Bobby Ramos has been really decent in part-time usage, but as I mentioned in that game with Bryn Smith, I made Bobby Ramos his exclusive catcher, and maybe that's why Bryn Smith pitched better in that game. I don't know, but he's been a nice pickup. So we traded AAA potential, rotation starter Larry Pashnik to Houston, and he's in the AAA team right now, and looking pretty good in AAA. Of course, some of that was with Detroit. Oh, he might actually be in. No, he's in AAA. Okay. And of course, we got Jeffrey Leonard, who hasn't played a whole lot, but he might be stepping into the right field position. Maybe on an everyday basis. We're going to see here shortly. Ricardo Aponte. This guy doesn't have very good ratings. He was a toss-in. He's in AAA for us, and I don't know. He might actually have a job here soon. Mickey Hatcher, terrible since coming over in that trade, and really not much to really go on there. He shares the job with Tom Brookins, and Brookins just had back-to-back home run games. So then this is where it's a little wonky. We got Tom Filer from the Cubbies, and he's made 2 starts for the Cubs and pitched really well. He's in our AAA system only because I thought we had other starters to go with, but that might not work out. And as you see here, it's a little out of order, but we traded Stegman and Wayne Gross. Gross was our toss-in to get rid of. Stegman is going to be going to arbitration. I hated to get rid of him because I'm a fan, but he I had to give up something to get a starter, and so he's 2 for 11, and not a lot to speak of there. And Wayne Gross, is he in AAA? Yeah, he's in AAA. So he's so bad he can't even get on the last place. Well, Cubs aren't in last place anymore. They're moving up the ranks. Then we traded Milt to the Yankees. How is Milt doing? Yeah, he's doing well. 2-0 for the Yanks. 2.65 ERA. Pretty solid. He's even thrown a complete game. And he was, doing okay for us as well. But he's going to free agency, and he was asking over $1 million. And he's so much older than the other starters we have that he seemed natural to be traded. Then, of course, we got Tim Lawler, who is in our AAA. Could probably be in the rotation right now. He's a lefty, And we don't seem to do too well with lefty starters, as Bruce Robbins is getting beat up pretty bad, but he might be in the rotation. Of course, Reggie Jackson has just been a disaster. 4 for 31. He's got 7 walks. His on-base percentage, I mean, look at the OPS. And he was in there, where was he? Was he in a double A or triple A? Yeah, so he was in both. He was actually in double A and triple A and doing pretty bad. So maybe he's washed up and I just got suckered because we've got him at $500,000 for 2 more years. At age 35, I thought he could at least come in and give us some power, especially if I have to trade Jason Thompson. Okay, so then we traded Steve Kemp to the Dodgers for a bunch of guys. This is the last trade. As we mentioned in today's earlier game, he got injured for a couple of games. He's only batting .188 with no dongs for the Dodgers. He's still getting on base. He had a .360 on base percentage. But we couldn't keep everybody. That's just the way it goes. And maybe I made some bad decisions, but in return, we got Greg Brock, who is going to be our first baseman of the future. He's got obscene power and decent eye. Defensively, a little bit below our average than Jason Thompson, but some good potential there, and he's young, and he could probably start right now. He's not on the block. We won't trade him. And then Joe Beckwith, who just got crushed in today's game. I think he'll be fine, but so far not so good. Maybe he's the kind of guy we got to pick our spots, but he should be on the team. Dave Patterson, we got in the deal too. This guy, I mean, he could be on the team right now. We're trying to see what we have, and he's pitched really well in Double A and Triple A, so that seems like a pretty good get. And Gilles Rondon, Triple A, and he was just a toss-in, but he could be on the team too. I mean, what do we got to lose? So anyway, that's all the Tigers trades. I don't think anybody really has done a lot with their new team, maybe with the exception of Milt, who's 2-0, and Omar Marino in limited duty over there has been pretty decent. So maybe we'll start working some of our acquisitions into the lineups. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up here with the leaders, and we're going to look at the American League first. Paul Molitor, batting .374. I think he was the leader also at the end of April. And Wayne Krzyzewski, who just, I don't know where he's come from, but he's crushing it. Kevin Romberg, Odie Davis, he just crushed us today. George Brett, and Wade Boggs, Carney Lansford, those are all batting title leaders. Winners, I should say. And then Chris Bando, whose brother Sal Bando just retired earlier today. Don Slaught, the catcher for Kansas City. So a lot of names you'd expect, and these 3 that you wouldn't. Let's take a look here at home runs. Jason Thompson, 12 home runs. He can't get on base. We can't get any singles, but he does hit home runs. Then we have the 18-year-old Ricardo Sainz on the board. Robin Yount, Thad Bosley, Carl. I mean, this is a bunch of people that you would not expect, especially Ron LaFleur. Bobby Grich he could hit home runs at second base. And then even Trammell with 8 has squeezed onto the top 10 list. Let's go ahead and, before we get to the pitchers, we'll take a look here. We'll just run through real quick. Who's leading in doubles? Wade Boggs. In Fenway, that makes a lot of sense with that left-handed bat. Grounding into double plays, is this all Tigers? Oh, no, it's Parrish and Steve Garvey, who we are currently seeing. Yeah, a lot of people who are slow. All of these guys are slow. So that makes sense. Extra base hits, I'm kind of curious. No Tigers. 3 tied at 24. Obviously, you can just pause it, take a longer look if you want. Hits, yeah, this is important. Hey, look at that. 2 guys who are on the same rookie baseball card. Paul Molitor and Alan Trammell. Pretty high-value card. I think it goes for like $25 in raw condition, and if you can get a PSA 10, I'm sure that it's probably $1,000, probably 800 to 1,000. Yeah, a lot of really good quality hitting hitters are listed there. So people you would expect. Let's see what else we got here. Hit by pitch. Two Tigers. Dave Engel, the catcher for the Twins. This is a good time for me to shout out, once again, Jeremy DeJong, who's designed all of these cards of players who were not either on the team yet, maybe they got called up early in this game, or players who weren't even, who never played for these teams. So that's pretty cool. I really appreciate what he's done for this league, and made it a lot more fun for me to play. Even when we're losing, it's kind of cool to see the new cards. We ever looked at the home runs, intentional walks. Anybody been walked intentionally? Mark Wagner. Oh my gosh, that is crazy, right? He's my backup shortstop. He doesn't even have 50 at bats. I don't know what that's about, but Wade Boggs makes sense. Okay, on base percentage, yeah. Wayne Krzyzewski, yeah, of course, that's what you'd expect. Let's look at the OPS. Tremble in the top 10. Yeah, nothing else major there. Plate appearances, we don't really. Let's look at let's look at RBIs. Yeah, Jason Thompson on our terrible team, second in RBI. And Trammell, interestingly enough, from the number 2 spot. I almost feel like we should drop him down in the order. I don't know if it'd make a difference, really, or not. Runner. So this is catchers, runners. I mean, this is a fielding thing, but we'll take a look. So remember how terrible Parrish was? He's third now. He's worked his way up. I think defensively, he's still committing errors at a breakneck speed, but hey, at least he's keeping people from stealing from us. Runs scored. Ricky, of course, most of that was with Oaktown, and then Alan Trammell is on there for Detroit, and Kevin. I mean, this you look at you see the same names over and over again. Sacrifice hits is Brookins. He mostly just pops the bunts up. Marty Barrett. Sack flies. I guess I'm curious. Jeff Burrows, John Harris, Robin Yount. And we'll come back with the pitching stuff here in a moment. Steals. That's what we want to see. Kim Allen. Holy cow. 37 in 55 games. Which is a lot for this, for our scenario here. And then Ricky in second. Alan Trammell. Kind of surprising. He did have one season in real life where he had more than 30. Everybody else you expect here. I don't really know much about Marshall Edwards. I remember him being on the Brew Crew, but I don't remember him being fast. Who's striking out all the time? Carl Pagel. Yep, he led the league last year in strikeouts. And, yeah. I don't know if you can hear the sirens in the background. Let's see here. Trips. Let's take a look at triples. Odie Davis at 5. We had Mark Wagner had 2 in a game for Detroit. Who has the most walks? Brian Downing. People don't really, unless you're playing against our team, they don't really walk much in this game. I'm actually surprised that Jason Thompson is not on this list. That's weird. Okay, so that's all we really need to see here. I do want to just quickly run through the fielding average, and then we'll go to pitching, and then we'll wrap this up. So, yeah, Lance Parrish, not even on the list for fielding average. First base, Jason Thompson, he won the Gold Glove last year, not on the list, on the top 10. Second base, Sweet Lou in the bottom half. Third base, nobody. Tom Brookins is at under 900. Joe LaFave, 994. That is very impressive. Trammell, okay, he's within possible Gold Glove category there. Nobody in left field, although we did just get rid of Steve Kemp, so he's in the National League now. But nobody else. Center field, Ricky, he's He's right up there. He made an error today, though, right? Because Gibson did in left field, and then look at that. Gary Hancock, he can field. He just can't hit this year. He was our team MVP last year. So, all right, let's take a look now at pitchers. And I'm sure you've already seen these since we're already here. Earned run average, you've got Teddy Higuera. Is he a rookie? No, he's in his second year now. So there's Teddy Higuera for you. We have Louisiana Lightning, Mike Norris from Oakland, Floyd Bannister in his second year. Oh, no, why do I always think that? I don't know. I think I'm getting him confused with Mark Langston. El Presidente, you got John Tudor, Jim Clancy, Jim Palmer, Rich Gale, Bruce Hurst to wrap out the top 10. Wins, Jim Palmer and Floyd Bannister. Floyd Bannister, that's why Seattle is doing so much better. They're starting to get their pitching staff in order. Tom Candiotti, the knuckleballer. Rick Langford. There's some interesting choices there. So, okay, let's take a look here real quick at other pitching statistics. Games pitched. This has got to be all Detroit. Yeah, you can see. Now, are we going to finish with these four? I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to make it. I mean, we don't have much better than those four, though. It's like Keith Comstock that we got to send down. Who's hit the most batters? Anybody? Jim Palmer. Len Barker. Home runs allowed. Who's given up the most home runs? Fergie Jenkins. It's because he was on La Coquina back then. Let's see here. Innings pitched. Yeah, no Tiger on that category. 3 pitchers are already over 100. I guess that makes sense since we are at the halfway point of this abbreviated season. Innings per game. Do we care? I don't know. Let's take a look. Floyd Bannister almost going 8 innings. Oh, we did see outfield assists. Ricky Henderson has 7. I assure you those were mostly with the Oakland A's. Quality starts. Teddy Higuera, followed by the usual suspects. Quality start percentage. Look at that. Jim Slayton and Chuck Rainey, 100%. Oh, they probably don't qualify, though. Yeah, it's only 3 total starts. And Jim Slayton has only made 2 starts. So I don't know why the game qualifies it that way. It should not, but it does. Blah, 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 blah. Saves, yeah. Saves. No Tigers. I think Cappy's got 6, but Goose has 13. Jim Kern with 13. Tippy Martinez, you would think, would be up there with Baltimore. He tied for the league lead with Senior Smoke last year. Shutouts. Hey, there's Rosie. Oh, only 2 are leads the league. And blah, blah, blah. Strikeouts pitched. Floyd Bannister, 78, up 10 over the second place Teddy Higuera. No Tigers. we might actually lead the league in walks per 9 innings. Dave Rozema looking pretty sharp. He's the best pitcher we have, bullpen or otherwise. Strikeouts per 9. Wow, look at that. Look at the time period we live in. It's 6.9, 7 per 9, basically. And what is it in real life? The average is over 10, right? I think for a major league starter in 2021. Okay, I think that's going to do it for the American League here. We're just going to flip it over to the National League and look at the top 4 leaders. Ted Simmons, Hall of Fame catcher, leading the National League with a 337. Danny Goodwin, the American League MVP from last year, batting 321. Ken Griffey Sr. Richie Hebner. Oh, no, we got rid of Richie Hebner. And he's doing, in the top 10, he's just crushing it for the Mets. Home run leader in the National League is Ken Griffey. Look at that, 3 teammates in a row, including Gary Ritas, who I think was more known for stealing, so that's weird. And actually, Glenn Gulliver was a Detroit Tiger. We traded him to the Cubbies to get Rick Russell. And look where that got us. Pitching, we got Scott Sanderson. We got lefty, Steve Carlton. Mike Scott, we like him. Wins is lefty, Ed Whitson. Joaquin Andujar, he threw the only no-hitter of the season. Rick Sutcliffe. Mario Soto. And Rick Wise, is he a starter in this game? I guess he is. At age 35. Look at him go, on the verge of having 200 wins. Probably get there this year if he stays healthy. And yeah, that's it. Okay, well, that's going to do it for this end of May edition as I scroll through this a couple times. I appreciate everyone following along. I appreciate the effort and the time that people take to comment on YouTube as well as on the Facebook forums. I will be doing a live game on June 6th. That'll be Sunday coming up. And that'll be a lot of fun. I hope to see some of you there. And that's going to do it. So until tomorrow, we have Game 2 of the series versus the Rangers, June 1st. And until then, everyone have a great night.